I got cheated on and found out months after we broke up. To start, all of this transpired months ago, so it's too late to take any action on it, and I've given up on getting my revenge. She was my dream girl, my first kiss. All I could think about was her at the time. She was funny, beautiful, kind, and an amazing cuddler. Honestly, I couldn't dream of a better girl, but ill-good things must come to an end, and so it did. I found out about it when my best friend accidentally slipped up and thought I already knew because the entire friend group knew in the first place. I can't blame them. They had good intentions. They were planning on telling me, but they just didn't get around to it yet. Turns out she was sleeping with her brother's girlfriend's brother. FY, she has a niece. It had been going on for almost the entirety of our relationship. What's crazy is she was the first EF I brought to family functions, out to movies with my family. I took a trick-or-treating for the first time in her life, weird stuff like that. Note to the juicy information, not only did I meet the guy that she was cheating on me with, I also thought it was a pretty cool dude. Turns out one of our mutual friends' boyfriends caught her giving him a BJ, obviously denied, but no one decided to tell me about it, and then, well, the relationship went on for a few more months, and then we took a break. It was really a breakup, but afterwards, she proceeded to lead me on for months upon months with the notion that we would get back together. Because of, as I mentioned before, I was crazy for this girl, but the story continues on with the information that while we were still dating, she was flirting with another mutual friend and my sister's ex-boyfriend, who verbally and mentally abused her. She sent boopics to them as well, kept talking about giving them BJs, which all of this I was not present for or knew about. Eventually, my friends confronted her with me present. She obviously denied all of it, eventually called cyberbullying and lied about us trying to jump her and transferred schools. I'm not asking for advice on how to get my revenge. I've given up on that, but I just want to get the stuff my chest and see what people would have done in that situation. Story number 2. I've been with this guy for almost 4 years now. He moved to the States 1.5 years back. Last June, he went on a trip with his girl best friend, saying her boyfriend and her other friends will be joining. He even said, "If you're not comfortable, I won't go." Feeling guilty, I asked him to go as I knew he was having a hard time adjusting in the States as he barely had any social life. I was somewhat suspicious something had happened between them on the trip, as although he mentioned her boyfriend and the group will be there, but most of the trip it was just the two of them. We had argument about it for months, but every time he cried and tried to reassure her, he wasn't that kind of man. Last week, he joined the force and his girl best friend texted me. She sent me screenshots of the things he had said to her before leaving for force. It was about the trip, about how he wanted the night back, how he wanted to feel her body again, how he wanted to do her. I was shattered to read all that. I've loved this guy more than anything, and it's been hard processing all this because looking at those texts, everything feels like it was just an elaborated practical joke. Also, now since he is in the training, I have to wait till I get to confront. A part of me wants to talk it out, know why he did what he did, and fix it, but other part of me wants to just remove him from my life and never speak to him again. I hate myself for not trusting my instincts and being blinded by love. Story number 3. Hey everyone, something really upsetting happened to me yesterday and I'm feeling quite overwhelmed. I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend for almost 3 years, and I also had a friend whom I had known for nearly 2 years. Yesterday, I decided to go out for a drink with my girlfriend to spend a nice evening together. While we were hanging out, my boyfriend texted and asked if he could join us. Both my girlfriend and I agreed, and he came over and we all had a good time. Later on, we headed back to my friend's studio apartment. Along the way, I opened up about some personal insecurities, like feeling foolish at times because of my hair color and expressing my discomfort with the idea of threesomes, as it made me feel gross and uncomfortable. Once we arrived at the apartment, we watched a series together. I must have fallen asleep at some point, and when I woke up, I noticed my girlfriend was continuously rubbing my boyfriend's belly. I immediately expressed my discomfort to my boyfriend. But I eventually fell back asleep. My girlfriend was also getting ready for bed, and I noticed she had changed into a silk kimono, which was unusual since she had been wearing an oversized t-shirt and pant earlier, a red flag for me. I was quite exhausted, so I drifted off to sleep again. Suddenly, I woke up, sensing movement on the bed and hearing heavy breathing. I was paralyzed, realizing what was happening. I went to the bathroom, trying to gather my thoughts and figure out what to do next. Eventually, I made the decision to pack my things and leave. While I was packing, my boyfriend went to the bathroom and I confronted my friend, calling her a disrespectful person. She responded with a feeble apology, but it didn't mean much to me. My boyfriend entered the room and I ended our relationship on the spot. I swiftly left with my belongings in tow. He followed me, pleading to take me home and ensure my safety, but I refused. As I walked home, he continued chasing after me, expressing how stupid he had been and how he never wanted to lose me. It was the first time I saw him cry, but by that point, I couldn't bring myself to care. I'm at a loss for what to do now. I see my friend regularly at school, since she's in my class, and I don't know how to handle the situation. I'm consumed with anger and confusion. Story number 4. It's been nearly a year since it happened, and I still haven't processed it properly. I thought I had met my dream girl. She honestly came across as the sweetest and most innocent person, but she was living a double life right under my nose. We had been engaged for a few months and were very excited about starting our life together. We were quite young, in our 20s. I was working my butt off into jobs to get us set up financially. She had a job, but it was a small salary and she was still studying on the side. I was extremely committed and wanted to give us a good life. We were trying to live a healthier lifestyle together by eating better and exercising regularly. The topic of getting a gym membership then came up. We discussed each getting a membership so we could go to the gym together. Anyway, then one day, she told me out of the blue that she had signed herself up at a different gym instead of the original one we planned on going to. I didn't think much of it and didn't mind. I thought it was a bit weird, but I was happy to gym alone at the original one. Her new gym was too far away from where I lived. We weren't living together. So, a little while goes by, about a week. She's gone to the gym a few times. I've been nice, asked if she's enjoying it, etc. All seems okay, but she starts acting a bit weird. She is being distant and snappy, and I don't know why. A few days pass and it just gets worse. She starts becoming extremely aggressive towards me for no reason and wouldn't open up. This started to give me a very suspicious feeling, and I wanted to figure out what was going on. So, I did some digging and remembered that she logged in onto her Instagram a while ago on my computer. I checked and thankfully still had access to her account, but what I found was horrifying. I found a long chat between her and a guy who worked at the gym. The chat spanned over a week or so and started fairly casual, like thanks for helping me sign up, etc., but then it got very sexual very quickly. I had to read about the things they wanted to do to each other and then the things they did do to each other, and guess where they hooked up? In the gym's office. I was disgusted, shocked, and literally sick to my stomach. I phoned her immediately and told her what I found and that it was over. She first denied it, but when she realized I saw the chat, she just hung up on me. Also, I don't mean this in a nasty way, but the guy she hooked up with was really not a typically attractive guy. I'm a good-looking guy, tall, green eyes, dark hair, and toned. She went for a slob over me, and I can't understand why. I then phoned her parents to tell them what happened. At first they said, "That's impossible, she's nothing like that." I then sent them the chat after they took a while processing it. They tried to shift blame onto me. They said I neglected her and was too busy with work. I was working hard to provide for her. She never took accountability and never even apologized to me. Haven't spoken to her since. It feels traumatic.